are no more a human being, you are now a goat.
They say jealousy is a quiet fire. It does not shout, it does not warn, but when it burns, it destroys everything in its path. This is a story of a woman whose jealousy was so strong that she turned a child into a goat. Listen carefully, because this story is older than memory, yet it still walks among us today. Long ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by tall iroko trees and red dusty paths, there lived a wealthy farmer named Babacola. His barns were full, his land was fertile, his animals were healthy, but his heart carried a wound that never healed. His first wife had died many seasons ago, leaving behind a young boy named Daramola. Daramola was not just a child. He was gentle, respectful, and wise beyond his years. He greeted elders properly. He helped strangers without being asked. And whenever his father returned from the farm tired, Daramola would wash his feet and bring him water. The village loved the boy, and that love would soon become a problem. After some years, Babacola married again. The new wife's name was Mornike. At first, Mornike appeared kind. Her voice was soft. Her smile was warm. Her cooking pleased the household. But kindness on the outside does not always mean peace on the inside. Mornike had a son of her own named Cunnel, and deep in her heart, she wanted Cunnel to shine above all others. But no matter how hard she tried, the village looked past Cunnel and looked at Daramola instead. Whenever elders gathered, they praised Daramola's wisdom. Whenever visitors came, they admired his good character. Mornike heard every word, and each praise pierced her heart like a sharp thorn. At night, while Babacola slept peacefully beside her, jealousy whispered into Mornike's ears. As long as that boy lives, your son will always live in his shadow. That was the night Mornike's heart changed. One dark night, when the moon hid behind the clouds, Mornike tied her wrapper tightly and stepped out of the compound. She walked past sleeping houses, past the silent market, past the edge of the forest, until she reached a small hut covered in old charms and broken calabashes. Inside lived Aya Ajayi, a woman feared by all, known for dark powers and forbidden knowledge. Mornike knelt before her. "I want the boy gone," she said in a shaking voice. "Not dead, just erased." Aya Ajayi stared at her for a long time. Then she laughed, a dry, hollow laugh that made the air cold. "Jealousy brought you here," she said. "But remember this, every evil act returns to its owner." Still, Mornike agreed, and that night, her fate was sealed. At dawn, when night was fading into morning, Mornike followed the instructions she'd been given. Daramola had gone to the stream to fetch water. As he bent down, Mornike quietly sprinkled the powder on his shadow. Suddenly, the boy screamed. His voice cracked, his body twisted, his bones pulled inward. Before the sun could fully rise, Daramola was gone. In his place stood a trembling white goat, its eyes wide, filled with fear and human sorrow. Mornike gasped. Then she smiled. She tied the goat and led it back home. "This goat wandered into our compound," she said calmly. That same day, Daramola disappeared. Babacola searched everywhere. He called his son's name in the forest. He asked the market women. He prayed to the ancestors. Nothing. And every night, Mornike pretended to cry. But strange things began to happen. The goat refused to eat leftovers. It stared at Babacola as if it knew him. At night, it cried like a child. One evening, Babacola whispered softly, "If you are human, show me a sign." The goat walked closer, knelt, and touched his feet, the same way Daramola used to greet him. Babacola fell to the ground and wept. The village diviner was called. After casting cowries and speaking to the spirits, he stood up and said, "This goat is not an animal. It is a child trapped by jealousy." All eyes turned to Mornike. She screamed. She denied it. But truth does not fear lies. Mornike confessed everything. That same night, the spell was broken. Smoke filled the air. The goat cried. And before the village, Daramola returned to human form. But punishment followed swiftly. More Nike was banished from the village forever. Her jealousy had destroyed her own home. And so the elders say, jealousy is a poison that drinks itself. Evil done in secret always comes to light. And no charm is stronger than truth. Soft, calm closing. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the world we live in today, subscribe for more African folktales filled with wisdom, mystery, and deep lessons. Because some stories are not just meant to be heard. They are meant to be remembered.